And called the Ides of March. Their one big hit was called Vehicle. I love this song. Band from Chicago, Illinois. Heard this a lot growing up. Today is the Ides of March, which, of course, those of you who know history, is the day commemorating when Homer joined the Stonecutters. But also, those of you who pay attention to history or movies from the 50s.
Beware the Ides of March!
That guy. From Julius Caesar. Did you have to read Julius Caesar in college? Shakespeare's Julius Caesar?
Nope.
Beware the Ides of March.
We did, I was in a literature class in high school.
You were in a literature class?
A what?
I said a literature. Get it? Like illiterate.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, go ahead.
I didn't know where you were going. I was like, he said literature class. Yeah. We all had to take them.
Yeah. And so we read, I was supposed to read it, I never read it. Because, that was me. And
illiterate.
Not a paperwork guy.
But we watched some performances of it, and I remember being so annoyed because I just think the acting in this performance, it's Shakespeare, and it's so over the top. And
this was a live stage production.
It was a live stage production that was filmed, and then it was, for our classroom. And I remember one student being like, that's acting right there. And I'm like, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's good.
Why didn't you like it?
Because it's just so... there's no subtlety to it. It's just so over the top. And I know that's what you do in those situations. Now, also, keep in mind, I'm 18 years old.
That's what
17 or
stage
18.
acting is, though.
I know.
You got to hit the back rows.
So I was just like, boy, I don't like this. And that was just my preference at the time. And
Yeah.
I still don't like that kind of stuff, but that's why I'm not someone that,
Goes to the theater.
But
and maybe I should.
Bill is a patron of the arts.
I do like that stuff.
He's the only one of us who regularly goes to Severance Hall.
There's also a difference between the way that you act for Shakespeare, and I've even seen other productions of Julius Caesar that I thought was better than what this lady in this performance was doing. It was just this one lady in it that was driving me nuts.
Was she a main character?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she kept showing up, and she everybody else was playing it pretty cool. I feel like,
her, man.
And then she's just like, and then me, and everybody's like, whoa.
I would like if she was
yeah.
Yeah, she was kind of putting on a different voice than everybody else was.
Yeah.
Like they were kind of doing, the British accent that you do
Old-timey,
for that, and hers was just so much more dramatic than everybody else.
I wonder how, mustn't be because of Shakespeare, but I wonder how depictions of ancient Rome became English, became British. All British actors in those movies. I wonder how it became
because ancient Roman, maybe that's what they sounded like. We don't know.
I don't. Ancient Romans, Italians?
How do you know?
I don't, but I think it probably has more to do with Shakespeare putting those things out into the
I think it
public consciousness.
Absolutely has to do with Shakespeare, because even when it's a movie that isn't a British area, like Chernobyl, that's a bunch of people doing English accents.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's true.
Like British accents and
Oh,
Russians,
the nuclear reactor has burned over.
I had the
to die, to have skin no more.
I had the opposite reaction to Shakespeare. I bought one of those cheating books. We had to read A Midsummer Night's Dream.
You like Spark Notes or what?
It was, I think it was made by Cliff's Notes or whatever, where it was the Shakespearean on one page, and then on the opposite page was like modern day English.
Like Willie Shakespeare to English dictionary.
Almost, but it was like page by page. So
Yeah.
when you read it on the left, that's what we would read in class, and then on the
twice
right.
as many pages.
Yeah, but you only needed the page on the right if you couldn't understand it or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that helped me like the play a lot more. And then when we went and saw it, it was at BW has a really good Baldwin Wallace and Berea. They have a really good
Not the Wing Place?
no, that's BW3, regular BW.
yeah.
BW1.
The OG B-dub.
They have a great arts and theater program, and we went and saw a performance there, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's also just the nature of that play.
Again, I've seen performances, but the one that's burned in my mind
Was that crazy
is
lady.
that crazy lady. And so I was just like, ugh. But I've seen other performances of it and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But that one was just...
You hated her.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
really what it
Yeah.
comes down to. I didn't like that lady.
Get her off the stage, lady. I don't care for you.
Because she wasn't matching the energy of everybody else in the performance. And I think that's a really weird thing to do. And then the way that they were like the kids in the class were praising her. I'm like, guys, no one else is acting like that lady. She's just being weird.
They're doing Antigone at Cleveland Playhouse, and I know I'm not going to be able to find anybody to go with me, but I'd really like to go see that.
I'll go.
You want to go see Antigone?
Yeah, when is it?
All right. I think they're putting it on now.
I can't go now, but I'm at work.
Not right. Not right this second. All right, guys. Bill and Poundcake are going to take the rest of it. It's going to be like Week in Cox, but right now, Mary and I are going to go. No, I assume these are nighttime performances that they're doing.
Antigone?
Hey, is this rare show in Antigone?
Y'all got Mountain Dew on tap or what?
Hey, man.
I brought my own Slim Jims, okay?
Who's playing Joe Castor?
I'm just sitting there like scratching off tickets.
Yeah. I got an Oedipus complex I got to talk to you about.
You tell me Antigone anti-flag, am I
That's
right?
right. Gig. Yeah, so listen, it's a little known fact here on the show that when it comes to the works of Sophocles, Mary and I are at the very top of that list of fans.
Amen.
Very top of that list of fans. Shakespeare is in modern day English.
No,
not all of it.
English.
I mean, right, not current day, nothing that old would obviously be written in. They didn't know how language is going to change in the future. But
it's the mole one, the lover of the shrew, the mole shrew.
The taming of the shrew?
Taming of the shrew.
The loving of the shrew, I think, was a Steve-O thing that was, yeah.
I feel like I've read a lot more Shakespeare than I'm noticing.
I think most people have, because you get it in high school.
Yeah.
If you take, heavy-duty lit classes in college, I had to read everything. Over the course of high school and college, I read everything.
AP Lit was the only AP class I did not take. I took AP Physics, AP Calc, AP History, but I did not take AP Lit. But I feel like we had a lot of Shakespeare. I feel like once every grade we had a Shakespeare.
I took Latin my freshman year of high school, and so she would, which it wasn't written in Latin, but she made us read Shakespeare too. I don't know why.
Just a big fan.
Oh, she was also my English teacher. So in our English class, we read some Shakespeare, and yeah, it's funny when you start recognizing those stories and you go, oh, I actually know a lot of Shakespeare because it's been repurposed for so many different movies.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff like that.
And just phrases and idiomatic expressions so many have come from Shakespeare.
That. But even like the storylines themselves have been put into films and, they're bastardized versions of it or parodies or whatever. But the one that is most memorable to me is the movie Strange Brew. Has a lot. It's Hamlet.
Yes,
it's Hamlet, and I was reading Hamlet, and I was like, why is he talking about all these things from Strange Brew? And I was like, oh, Strange Brew is talking about them. Yeah,
that's why Geddy Lee did the soundtrack to Hamlet many, many years ago.
Beware the Ides of March.
Yeah, I never understood what the Ides of March is. Apparently, Bill would know this because he took Latin. Ides is just a Latin word for a day in the middle of the month. So it's nothing, beware the day in the middle of the month.
So 15th.
No, there's bad things coming.
Today is the 15th. Beware the next 30 days, I think was the line in Julius Caesar. It became beware the Ides of March, but I think the written is beware the next 30 days because that's when Caesar was murdered and blah, blah, blah. Poundcake knows this because he read all that Shakespeare. He's talked about it.
Much ado about nothing.
Much ado about nothing.
That's
right.
what I do.
I was going to say, what a perfect encapsulation of his adult life. Much ado about nothing.
And in the 90s, they were really cranking out a lot of Shakespeare movies.
Much Ado About Nothing was Michael Keaton and Keanu Reeves, and
they did that. Then they
Romeo
did the
Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet where they modernized it.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the fascination. I thought because I was gay, I thought I would love me some Shakespeare.
I don't like the modern update. I hated that Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet.
I
don't like those.
Why I liked that play so much, the Midsummer Night Dream one, was because it took place in a mall. So That's
my friend was asking. She's like, ask Mary if it was the mall version.
Yeah, it was the mall version. Yeah. So all of it was like mall workers playing out this Shakespearean thing, and I loved it. The narrator was like this little sprite in the poem, and then he was like a punk skateboard dude, this was like my heavy punk rock phase where I was like, look at his guyliner.
They're speaking right to me.
Right, they really were. As a 15-year-old girl, set this in a mall, and I will absolutely love it.
Put you in an uncomfortable position. Put you
like
in an
the back of a Volkswagen. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. We're talking about malls.
Yeah.
The Watchman of Messina. The Watchman of Loggins in Messina, for those of you who go back far enough with your music, your Much Ado About Nothing. But yeah, Poundcake, big fan of Shakespeare. Calls him Willie S.
I hated that. Like, that teacher, she was so rough on us. Like, we would come in to the class, and every day we would have a quiz. Every day. She's like, I hope you read your Shakespeare. I'm like,
So she wanted you to do the work,
no.
and you guys got all mad.
It wasn't that she wanted to make ssure not only were we reading it, but like, it was like obscure things, like just like what word did they use in the middle of the sentence, like, because it was like Old English or like Welsh or something. I don't remember, like, and I would
had you done the reading?
Yes, but I would get like B's and C's on the quizzes because her questions weren't necessarily did you read it. It was like
She's doing deep dives.
It wasn't about the content.
it was.
I
It was
see.
just she would find like the smallest little thing that no one would ever think of. What symbol was used in this sentence? I'm like, damn it, I don't remember the punctuation. Like obscure things just to make sure this sentence, you didn't skip over this page, you didn't skim. I need to know this paragraph, this sentence, because like his plays have like the numbers of the lines. She'd be like, line 5, page 15. What was this? I'm like, bitch, I don't know. This
Right.
is not about the quiz. You're just trying to flunk somebody.
Everybody pointing out, by the way, that Taming of the Shrew is 10 Things I Hate
Yeah,
About
that's
You.
what I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
Not the love of the mole.
The love of them all. I had to find out from fish. Yeah, Taming of the Shrew. Alan, have you ever heard the song Strokin' by Clarence Carter?
Of course we have.
Stroking.
I found it over the weekend,
no, that's
and it's my instant favorite. No, everybody knows Strokin', right? Clarence Carter.
When I start making love, I don't just make love, I be stroking. That's what I be doing. I be stroking.
He's still alive, by the way, Clarence Carter. For those
This
of
is
you
my
who are
buddy's go-to karaoke song.
Strokin'?
Yeah.
To the west, and I stroke it to the woman.
He also had a hit song called Backdoor Santa, which I don't,
What's that about?
Coal. The coal train, if you will.
I don't know if it means backdoor like in the Zeppelin sense
Yeah.
or in the Pornhub sense.
Day, do you like to make love? Have you ever made love just before breakfast?
Poundcake, he's asking you a
Have
question.
you ever made love
Yeah, that is my breakfast.
while you watch the Late Late Show?
The Late Late
I've
Show?
heard this.
Of course you have.
Well, let me ask you this.
They'll play it at like, maybe not weddings, but I mean,
Well, it's definitely
Have you
something
ever-
your dad probably had on at some point.
Yeah, it just sounds familiar.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever made love on the back seat of a car? I remember one time I made love on the back seat of a car.
on the back seat of a car. Not in a car, on
No,
the back
on the
seat of a
back
car.
seat.
Yeah.
I'm
He didn't-
stroking.
He didn't say the back seat was in the car.
On the back seat of a car.
It could be out.
It's in a junkyard.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever made love in a reclamation area
Stroke it to the west.
on a pile of junk?
Woman that I love the best. I be stroking. Let me ask you something.
Say a lot of questions.
How long has it been
Real Q&A.
since you made love?
Oh.
What time is it?
I know, yeah.
8 hours?
12 hours?
Did you make love yesterday?
Yes.
Did you make love last week?
Yeah.
I feel like this is really an invasion of one's privacy, too. I mean, he's not demanding that you answer, but you feel compelled to
Yeah, you're
answer,
like,
you know?
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
I'll
kind
be
of trying
cool
to play
about it,
along,
yeah.
Did you make love?
And is he keeping records of my answers, by
Yes.
the way? He is?
Mhm, audio records.
Somewhere Clarence Carter has got a lot of...
Or maybe it might be that you planning on making love tonight.
Yeah, I do.
But just remember,
I hate how many times he says making love, by the way. Have you ever screwed on the back hood of a car?
soft, short, and be stroking.
Yeah.
Also, are you really? If I don't care how in love you are, you're not making love in a car.
You're
made
not.
love in a car.
You're banging in a car.
You're banging in a
Yeah,
car.
Nope,
no.
not me.
You
Early
made
on,
love.
when first couple times you had sex and thought it was love, that was in the back of a car, but no one's.
In the passenger
Honey, I want to make
seat.
love tonight. Let's get in the back seat of the car. No one,
When
you
I
know.
start making love to my woman, I don't stop until I know she's sassified.
Sassified?
I heard
And I
sassified.
can always tell when she gets sassified. Because when she gets sassified, she started calling my name.
She said, Clarence, get off me.
She said, Clarence Carter, Clarence Carter. Clarence
She's like, open the moonroof.
Carter. Shit.
Turn the dome light on. What? Oh, come on. He said, I'm changing my shift. It's a sex
He said,
shift.
ooh, that
Yeah.
ship, it's stuck.
Right. Yeah.
It's stuck on its way to Norfolk.
The Evergreen is in Chesapeake Bay. BAE. Is that why they have Old Bay seasoning there in Baltimore?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. I know you're supposed to put that stuff on crabs. It's
Pretty tasty. It's legit.
I never understood seasoning crab legs.
It's because you're white.
No, you crack through the crab leg though. That's not the part you're eating.
I'm not a crab guy, so I have no dog in that fight.
Right.
My friends used to grill and smoke crab like crabs.
You mean season the exoskeleton part?
Yes, they would season the crab.
Well, it's the only part that you have access to. I mean,
but what? It's not going to seep through the shell.
it might. Osmosis? I don't know. Is it a semi-permeable membrane, the shell, or
No,
is it
it's
a hard?
pretty-
No.
All right.
Pretty, but what happens is it gets on your fingers, and then as you're pulling
Yeah,
it
you're
out.
supposed to
then-
lick it. And,
Maybe ask your friends, Mary.
Yeah.
It was
before
a
you-
general to the room statement.
Well, I told you my theory.
It's like the dust on Cheetos.
That's why I season my cracked crab with Cheeto dust
Also, at 340, you're supposed to lick it.
Come on.
before you stick it. All right, I got to take a break. If you want to text for something, 35192, AlanCoxShow.com if you want to watch, and we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.